This Monday, we'll choose one. You're next. Something huge is coming together in the unseen worlds. The stars have been whispering your name for seasons. You have waited, suffered, and wept in secret. However, your allotted hour is approaching with accuracy. This Monday is more than simply ordinary day. This is when the heavenly spotlight starts to shine on you. Because of divine timing, rather than happenstance or luck. And your name. Yes, your name is next in line. Before we continue, take a deep breath and open your spirit. Watch the whole video since it contains more than just information. This is a confirmation and remark. Please find your best greetings below, along with the numbers. 777 will ignite this moment in the environment. Allow your aspirations to flow with energy. This chapter is about desires coming true. More than that, it's about aligning with your destiny. The cosmos is listening to your voice, trust, and expectancy. They're all uniting with a holy energy. Now choose one. I like this video. Subscribe if you have not subscribed to the channel. And let's start to figure out what's going on. You are not seeing this on accident. Something in the air around you has been changing for weeks, even months. You could have felt more sensitive and attentive. You've probably experienced unusual dreams, bursts of intuition, or unexpected surges of energy that didn't make rational sense. That's because the spiritual gate governing your breakthrough has been silently opening behind the scenes. Monday is more than simply the first day of the week. It is the triggering point. This is the moment when your name enters heavenly circulation. You've spent so long watching others get honored. You've applauded for them, supported them, and even waited in the shadows without anger, knowing your day will come. And now it has. This Monday, you're going to experience what it's like when the supernatural puts you front and center. You're going to stroll inside rooms. Your name had previously been mentioned in emails, phone calls, proposals, and reconciliations. Doors marked with your name will swing open. You see, the chosen one is next. This does not indicate that you were chosen at random. It signifies you have been divinely prepared. Every struggle, delay, and loss, you did not comprehend. It was not punishment. It was a preparation. You were being constructed, not broken, sharpened, not shattered. What you went through given you the strength to withstand what is ahead. Not everyone can handle what you're going to bear. Not everyone is capable of this amount of favor. And although you believed you were being forgotten, you were really being reserved, stashed away like treasure until the proper time. The world has yet to glimpse your entire potential, but it will. This Monday marks the start of an unlocking series. You will not even have to push for them. They will come in a timely manner. What used to be resistant, you'll now submit. What seemed weighty would rise where there was misunderstanding. There will now be clarity. Where there was stagnation, momentum is surging like a flood. You were not born into the background. You were not supposed to just get by with that profound emotion inside of you. The one that tells you that your life should be more meaningful. It was positioned there for a purpose. This is your heavenly blueprint communicating. That is your inner affirmation that you are not done yet. You are just getting started. Yes, I did choose one. This Monday marked the visible beginning. Do not be shocked if folks from your past attempt to re-enter your life in the days ahead. People who previously ignored you will now pay attention to you. They may claim to have thought of you at random. However, comprehend this. Your name is being uttered in rooms that you have not yet visited. Spiritually, you have already arrived. Now the physical is catching up. Do not allow past versions of yourself to damage the future. Do not shrink to make others comfortable. Step completely into the favor that is following you down. The heavenly spotlight is about more than simply attention. It's about the task. Your visibility is linked to your mission. You are being made visible now so that the proper people may find you. The correct doors must notice your presence, and the one you choose will allow you to stand higher than ever before. Not out of ego, but because you've been assigned to this level. Heaven has determined that you are next. You may feel apprehensive. You could even doubt if you're ready. But listen to this. Readiness does not imply excellence. It's all about alignment. You are already in sync with what is coming. The inner need, the desire to prepare for more to grow. That is not anxiousness. That is heavenly anticipation. You can sense it because it is already close. When your spirit begins to jump without reason, it is a sign that a miracle is underway. This Monday will be different. Not because the sky will alter or the wind will shift, but because your name has been inscribed into the script of breakthrough. Observe what occurs when you wake up that day. Pay attention to your energies. Pay attention to your surroundings. Some of you will get news before noon that will affect the rest of your year. Some of you may experience a sudden sense of tranquility that you haven't felt in months. That is not imagination. That is alignment. You've made it through seasons that attempted to break you. You have suffered without being recognized. You prayed when you were fatigued. Believed when there was no indication. Keep going. When quitting makes more sense. All of it. Nothing went to waste. Everything was being tallied. And now the balance is tilting. The divine equation is come full circle. You gave more than you got. But on Monday, you start getting more than you give. The overflow starts. Don't be terrified of the new chapter. Don't question it, because it feels too nice. This isn't a trick. This is not a teaser. This is transformation. The upcoming transition is not transitory. It is permanent. You are entering a protracted period of heavenly favor. Yes, there will be problems, but they will not overwhelm you. They will no longer delay you. You will go ahead with fresh strength, clarity, and authority. People will ask you what has changed. They'll wonder how it occurred. However, you will be aware that this decision was made a long time ago. It was part of your narrative before you ever came here. Everything that is occurring today is the result of divine timing. You're not late. You're not behind. You're perfectly on schedule. And Monday is your day. Everything that has been held up is being released. Everything that was before locked is now being unlocked. Everything that was before uncertain is now clarified. You've entered the world of divine timing. The spot where struggle ends and strategy starts, where tears transform into testimony, where waiting turns into victory. This Monday is more than simply another date. This is your declaration. You're next, and the world is about to see why. You've always known you were different. You attempted to fit in, minimize it, and play it safe. But the fire within of you will never be completely quenched. You were picked for importance as well as accomplishment. The reason you've had so many delays, assaults, and unusual periods of stillness is because what you carry challenges every lie. Darkness has revealed to the world that your true destiny is to be a weapon. Your life conveys a message. The revelation starts this Monday. You don't need to persuade anybody. You do not need to explain yourself anymore. Those who couldn't see you before were never allocated to your fate. This elevation is not meant to be viewed by everyone. It is about getting noticed by the appropriate people, the individuals who contribute to your mission, the doors that correspond to your calling. You're not next for attention. You are next because there are assignments under your name that must now be completed. And the moment has come. This is the week when heaven intervenes. Not softly, not gradually, but immediately. Watch how the energy surrounding you changes. What was challenging last week will now seem easier. Conversations will align. Resources will emerge. You may find yourself in unexpected locations with individuals who energize you rather than exhaust you. That's not an accident. That is orchestration. The divine has planned your week, particularly this Monday, as an opportunity for breakthrough. Some of you have felt as if you were wandering through a fog, disoriented, bewildered, and detached from your fire. But all that is changing today. The fog is breaking. You'll start to feel awake again, alive and linked again. The strain isn't breaking you. It is giving you birth. Your pain did not indicate that things were going awry. It was a clue that something greater was forming. Monday marks the beginning of the discharge of what has been building up within you for quite some time. There's a reason you've been drawn away from certain folks. There is a reason. The doors you believed were designed for you were closed. It wasn't a rejection. It was a redirection. The delay you despised will eventually become something you praise God for. Because you were not refused. You were being divinely guided to something considerably more powerful. If those earlier ideas had worked out, you would have settled. And you weren't meant to settle. You were designed to shock systems and change the atmosphere. When you talk, make an effect wherever you go. When you're next in line, don't get distracted by the background noise. Distractions are frequently camouflaged as familiar circumstances. You may hear from folks who have ghosted you. You could be enticed to revisit locations you've outgrown. Do not go backward. You are in a spiritual launch sequence. The countdown has already started. Your flight will take departure on Monday. Looking ahead, spirit is open. Hands are ready to accept. The benefit that will come is more than simply cash. It's multidimensional. It is not simply going to modify what you have. It will transform the way you think, how you view and handle yourself. It is an identity activation. You will begin to understand that you are not the person your history has tried to describe you as, nor are you the person your wounds have attempted to mold. You are exactly who heaven says you are. And Monday marks the start of the season in which that version of you is fully revealed. You will begin to walk and talk differently. Your choices will change. You will say no to things you used to tolerate. You will prioritize your quiet above others' pleasing. You'll notice that you're drawn to events and people that represent the healed version of yourself rather than the injured one. People will not grasp the change, but that's okay. You did not grow for their comprehension. You developed to fulfill your destiny. And here's something more you should know. Your presence will start to unlock things for others. Yes, you. When you enter into a room and talk, people will feel encouraged without realizing why. People will develop insight without you trying. You will become a mirror for others to see what is possible, since being chosen is more than simply receiving. It's about reflection. What's going on with you will shine through. You'll start to observe divine patterns, repeating numbers, familiar names, and divine timings that indicate your alignment with something much beyond the normal. This is how heaven verifies alignment. These are not just coincidences. They're confirming acts. You are not hallucinating the link. You are not making things up. You are precisely where you need to be. You're being led every step of the way. For many, Monday marks the beginning of a routine. But for you, it is the beginning of a revelation. It will set a new tone in your life. This Monday will provide the momentum your life has been waiting for. That one missing piece, that clarity you were looking for, that breakthrough that had been circling you, it's all coming together right now. Not next month, not someday. Now you'll awaken with a feeling of purpose, a voice in your soul saying, go here, call them, send a message, begin the concept. Pay careful attention. This isn't simply your intuition. That is divine teaching. Follow it, because this is the season of tiny obedience. Unlock tremendous marvels. This is the season when believing the whisper leads to amazement, and you are now experiencing it. The reason things didn't work earlier wasn't because you lacked ability. It's because there wasn't time. You were striving to blossom in the winter. But now it's springtime. Now the season corresponds to the seed. You're entering the harvest of every tear. You sobbed silently and prayed with uncertain trust. You always remained strong when you wanted to give up. The return is approaching. Monday is the day you get your receipt. Don't anticipate the procedure to be similar to anybody else's. You're not on a path. You're creating one. That's why it seemed lonely at times. That is why there were no mentors to contact. That's why you had to figure it out in the dark. But all of it shaped you. And now the light is turning on, and the world will finally see what God saw when He picked you. This moment is precious. Protect it. Honor it. Speak into it. And prepare. Because heaven doesn't call your name lightly. It makes a loud announcement. This announcement will reverberate across the surrounding environment. People will start talking about you in amazement. Your promotion will become a subject of discussion. But remain grounded. Remain appreciative, for favor comes via humility. And the more you accept what is coming, the more it arrives. You're next. Not out of preference, but out of satisfaction. You are the answer to another's prayer. You represent the breakthrough someone else is ready to witness. Your life is not arbitrary. It is a revelation. Every step you've made has gotten you closer to this Monday. And now heaven is declaring, it is time to choose one. Crossing a threshold has a certain holy quality to it. And that is exactly what is occurring right now. You're not just rounding a corner. You're crossing a heavenly line. One aspect of your life has revolved on endurance and resistance, waiting and hoping. However, there is another new side. You are now entering it, and it is characterized by manifestation. Recognition accelerates eyesight and elevation. You have spent a long time enduring the storm. This Monday, you'll start prospering after the storm. This is vital for you to grasp. You didn't miss your opportunity. Life may have persuaded you that you missed too many opportunities, that you arrived too late, or that others had an edge. But it is a falsehood. Your timing was never meant to match theirs. You are a wonderful original. Your calendar has been custom-coded in the spirit. That is why this Monday is important. That is why the cosmos is now arranging everything around you. The moment that was formerly waiting for you is now approaching you. This isn't about hype. It's about heaven. Something is rising in the unseen before it becomes apparent. And what's rising is you. The most authentic version of yourself. The unchained, unconcerned, fearless version of yourself. You're rising from years of spiritual strain. You are coming out of a spiritual womb. And what is being born is the version of yourself that was always supposed to succeed. You are not becoming someone else. You are returning to your divine design. And here's what you should know. You are not going to this next level alone. You are being supported by invisible powers. Your name is being protected. Your route is being guarded. Your energy is being replenished. You are not vulnerable right now. You are divinely protected. That is why some assaults were unsuccessful. That is why you did not lose your mind despite having every reason to. Because the divine has always had a touch on you. This Monday is not the start of protection. It's the unveiling. You are going to travel through your surroundings with more confidence. There will be less misunderstanding, no fewer diversions, and far more confirmation. You will make quicker judgments. You'll recognize alignment sooner. You will have greater faith in your knowledge now that your spirit has been refined by fire. And now you're entering a place where the world meets the warrior inside you. Someone who has discreetly rebuilt himself in secret. The person who continued to believe while receiving no praise. The person who maintained a gentle demeanor in an otherwise harsh environment. You have passed unseen exams. That is why you are next. When treachery sought to take root, you fought its venom. You chose compassion when fury felt appropriate. You showed up when quitting seemed simpler. These were all modest successes that nobody noticed. However, heaven recorded them. The award is currently on its way. Not as a fluke or by chance, but as divine recompense. Because planting and trust yield a harvest of glory. People around you may be puzzled by your sudden elevation. They will not comprehend why you are suddenly attracting attention. Opportunities favor and clarify all at once, but allow them to be puzzled. You don't have to explain why you went through a difficult time, because what they're seeing is the public expression of a private covenant. You completed the job. You respected the process. You were loyal over a little amount. And now you are excessively elevated to the position of king. Make no mistake, this elevation has nothing to do with ego. This is not about proving oneself to others. This is about proving the promise. This is about reaffirming to your own spirit that you were never forgotten, that your obedience was not in vain, and that your path had a purpose. You're going to live in a world you could only imagine before. You are going to touch something you could only see before. And it will seem like entering a never-ending dream. Prepare for the strange. Don't be shocked if things change in unexpected ways.